What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I watched the Face Off, Wilder versus Parker, AJ versus Waleem, Beevil and Arthur, and all of that. Okay, so I'm not gonna break every fight down. I'm not even gonna break the fights down. I just want to make some points about what I saw. Now, Frank Sanchez wasn't present. A couple of people wasn't there. How you say the guy's name? Magdamov or whatever, the Russian dude, or however you say his name. Okay, certain people wasn't there. Now, let me go by what I saw. And I'm going to have to point out these delusional fans that just say stupid things that are like the farthest thing from the truth. I swear you can sit here and sit right in front of an apple tree and a delusional person will sit next to you and swear that, nah, man, that's not apples. Those are chickens hanging off that tree. That's a chicken tree. No such thing, but they see it. Okay, so I'll start off by saying this. Okay, one fight that's on that card is Big Pharmacy Miller versus Daniel Dubois. Now, listening to Derek Chisora talk, Derek Chisora said that initially he was supposed to be the one fighting Jarrell Miller. Now, he said he said the offer that they made him financially, he didn't want. And they told him if he didn't take it, they was going to give it to Dubois. So that's how Dubois got on the card. Now, immediately, my first thought when I saw that was, why didn't you guys reach out to Zhilei Zhang? Because I would have much rather seen him on that card. I always liked Dubois as a fighter. Fighters gonna have their ups and downs, but I always liked them as a fighter. But I'd rather seen Zhilei Zhang in that spot. To me, they tried to give, and this is just me, but just looking at it, it seems to me like they tried to give Jarrell Miller the easiest fight he could possibly get to get him back in the mix of things. One thing's for sure, there's a video of Jarrell Miller in the car talking. He's obsessed with Anthony Joshua. He cannot have a conversation without bringing up AJ. And I remember in that video, he said, I want to fight a Brit. And he said he wanted to fight Derek Chisora. He wants to fight Dillian White. Okay. At least for the Dillian White side of things, all right, Jarrell Miller's coming off of 4 years. He's had 4 fights since he's been back. And I think the last fight was against Lucas Brown, something like that. Nobody's talking about it. It made no noise about it. Now, at least, he can say for Dillian White, Dillian's in his 30s, he's in his 30s. Okay, whatever. I mean, Chisora's still in his late 30s, but Chisora's finished. Why would you want to fight Derek Chisora? What does that do for your resume? How does that elevate you any kind of possible way, right? That was the other name he said. So the fact that they were even going to put Chisora on his card is like, you should be trying to get the best possible fighters, not, are you trying to get, what's the purpose of that, right? You're trying to make it a level playing field. Let's try to get guys that's, we're going to put A class versus A class, B class versus B class, C class versus C class. So, what was the purpose? I didn't understand that. So, to me, it's like, yeah, he's trying to get the easiest fight possible. On top of that, Jarrell Miller says we got to wake this crowd up. And, of course, he's going to go into big mouth mode like he always does. But for the people praising his press conference and praising him for talking, trash, trash talking does nothing for me. I don't care for it. It doesn't mean anything. It's what people do, but it's not going to make me watch a fight. Okay. What Jarrell Miller did, that was very stupid. Okay. And what the commentator, the interviewers all did wrong. This goes to show you the same way boxing itself has no structure. The interviewers, everybody, they ask you, they're more worried about asking AJ and Deontay about fighting people, each other and stuff like that, versus the opponents that's in front of them. And Jarrell Miller spent more time talking shit about Anthony Joshua than he did about his own opponent. He shot his own fight down. He said Daniel Dubois is a quitter, right? Basically said you quit against Joe Joyce, you quit against Usyk, and basically shit all over his own opponent and had really much of nothing to say about his own fight. And he sat there on the panel and talked about how Anthony Joshua is afraid of Deontay. As much as I don't like Deontay, either fight Deontay and go to the graveyard, or fight me and go to the hospital. Either way, you get your ass whipped, blah, 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 blah. He had much of nothing to say about his own fight. Then to cap it off, I don't know if he realized how much he played himself, but to cap it off, he turns around and he says he wants to fight Manuel Charr, because Manuel Charr has some BS built. Manuel Charr. We roasted Tyson Fury for trying to choose Manuel Charr and Derek Chisora. Now, isn't it ironic that in this same situation with Jarrell Miller, their first choice to him was Derek Chisora? Dubois, who basically just got beat by Usyk. He had his moments in the fight. He clearly lost, but, we know the body shot, that was called a low blow, whatever. I'm not going to go into all of that, but you see what I mean? Zhilei Zhang is hot right now. Why would you not put him on this card? I mean, at least, make the offer, and if he declines, that's one thing, but why would he not be one of the first choices to put on this card? Well, I remember Jarrell Miller saying, I want to fight you, Big Bang. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. You know what I'm saying? I remember this and that about you and but yeah, just giving you credit on your win over Joe Joyce. And he winds up being offered one of the choices we didn't want to see Fury have, which is what Fury chose to do anyway, and fight, Derek Chisora. Now, for anybody that want to run their mouth, but Derek, gatekeeper bullshit. What did Derek Chisora say after that Tyson Fury fight? I think it's time to retire. I can't keep going on like this. That was his words. And I said, damn, every other fight you claim you won, but you can't get the decision. Now, you clearly go in there and get your ass kicked and say, I can't keep going on like this. It's time to retire. And then he goes and fight again after that, of course. Okay, but the bottom line is, we already know his better days are behind him. So for a guy like Jarrell Miller, who's calling himself trying to climb up the ladder to get back to where he needs to be, by fighting a guy like Derek Chisora, iron sharpens iron, right? What is this, rush rubbing off on rust? Because that's what this is to me. Two rusty-ass fighters, one way past his prime, and the other guy who, and Jarrell Miller, he's a big fat dude. His size and his volume is what overwhelms opponents. It's not technique and boxing ability. What he's been doing has been working for him so far. And in fact, what is Daniel Dubois' biggest weakness? He gets gassed. So unless Dubois, can understand how to put punches together accurately, learn how to work his jab and move and just, it's hard to picture Dubois going the distance and not getting tired. That's the thing. So, for Jarrell Miller, it's like, okay, say he does go in there and beat Daniel Dubois, right? Does that really mean a whole lot to everybody? Does this put him in a position of, he's right back? No, it shouldn't. Okay, and it shouldn't, because Dubois is a fighter that could never really get over the hump. You know what I mean? So for him, it's like, okay, for Jarrell Miller, you shoot down on your opponent. You yourself just called him a quitter. You know what I mean? And yeah, when a guy does find it in him to tap into quick, he'll find it again. Now, how the fight plays out, we'll see. I really honestly don't, that's the fight I'd have rather seen, Big Bang in there, to be honest with you. That's who I'd have rather seen in there. But that's not happening. Now, for all of what he was saying, Jarrell Miller and talking trash, here's the funny part. As I'm watching it, I'm also reading comments. And people were saying things like, Anthony Joshua is too sensitive. Okay, so a guy starts opening his mouth saying that you're ducking fighters and you're a coward and all of these things, and he told him shut the fuck up, told him watch your mouth until I go in and slap you, right? Tell him I seen you brought your mom here again, and so if he'd have sat there and not said nothing, they still would have had something to say. No matter what he said or did, they still would have had something to say. I just find it very funny. Like I don't understand how people can talk or text things and not feel like an asshole. Like what would you have done? What is it that you would have done? What I see with AJ and people is that they want AJ to be so soft. They want to be able to say he's soft or he's a bitch, he's a punk, he's a coward, and want it to be true. So when they sit there and watch him, they have to find something that's not even happening to just say it anyway, because it, for whatever childish reason, make them feel better about themselves. You sitting over here talking about him scared of Wilder and fight him or fight you. You sitting there talking about fighting Manuel Charr. Who the fuck has Jarrell Miller beaten? Jarrell Miller was a guy who was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua on his debut, American debut, and he failed his drug test. After going on Sway in the Morning and sitting on other shows, sitting there saying that AJ was a drug cheat, but he's the one that was the drug cheat. So through all of that, now all of a sudden he's trying to Rolly Romero, trying to talk his way into a spotlight position where, okay, I mean, beating, even if he beats Daniel Dubois. And here's the thing about it. Nobody's really skeptical about if he can beat Daniel Dubois because we know that Daniel Dubois' gas tank is his issue. Now, if Dubois can land what he needs to land and get him out of there, in all honesty, like when people are clowns, I just can't get into what they're saying and doing. I just, for me, it's just like, if he's talking about he backs up everything he says, you haven't fought anybody worth a shit yet. And that's the reality. Who the fuck did he beat? No one. No one. His best wins is against guys like Charles Martin, Gerald Washington. Like, I mean, Duhaupas. That's the level of people that he's fought. That's the best competition he's fought is guys on that level. Lucas Brown. That's the best guys he's fought. So for you to all of a sudden, it's like he's trying to talk his way back into it. And the funny thing is, notice he's talking shit. Right now, if you really feel that AJ ain't shit, well, maybe that's why you yourself is not calling out Wilder. You talking about AJ, everybody knew AJ scared to fight Wilder, but you're not saying you want to fight Wilder. So you're not even talking about your own fight. And I'm like, this is some clown shit right here. And for the record, when he started talking that shit about I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm gonna do this, he got zero reaction from that crowd. So as far as waking him up, he failed at that too. Now, to go on to this, I've seen comments of people saying Anthony Joshua won't even look at Wilder. They're in the same room, he won't even look at him. And I'm like, what is he supposed to be in love with him or something? But ain't it funny that as soon as Wilder starts talking, AJ was locked in on him the entire time. You see him sitting there watching Wilder. Wilder's talking and glancing to his right, talking, glancing. You know who he's looking at? The guy that asked him the question. Now, for Wilder, it's funny because not even 2 weeks ago, right? He said he needed to go to the UK so he can go and find Anthony Joshua to have a face-to-face because he don't want AJ to think he got something against him and he know AJ's afraid of him. You think AJ don't hear this shit? But isn't it funny that they're sitting there talking and I'm like, it does, listen, it bothers me, none. I just read stupid-ass comments or hear dumb-ass comments that people say, and it's just like, how could y'all be so fucking stupid? Like, what press conference was y'all watching? Because I saw him locked in, staring right at Wilder. Funny thing is, when they got side by side, they was up there and they had, they didn't really face off. They just, who was the one smiling and who extended their hand to shake hands? Now you have all this shit to say. Look at all these videos and people are reposting videos of Wilder talking shit. AJ, we gotta fight, or stop being scared, and let's fight. And now, face to face, where was all this tough shit? Face to face, what did Wilder say? He wish him nothing but the best. You know, he feel like, you know, the fight gonna happen. Even if it don't, I wish him nothing but the best, man. Nothing but something positive. Smiling and shit, sticks his hand out to shake AJ's hand. AJ kind of hesitates for a second. Then he shakes his hand, he's staring right at him the whole time. So, for the fanboys who sit here and see chickens hanging from an apple tree, you guys are just delusional, and you shouldn't even be heard. You shouldn't even speak. Okay? Here's a reality for Deontay, and this is what he should do. He should keep that same energy that he had in front of AJ when he's not in front of AJ. You know, I don't feel like, you know, it's time to play. I don't think I need to say nobody's name or say. Why? It's funny how on separate videos you have so much to say. And face to face with the person, that's all of a sudden you have a loss for words. He did the same thing in the last Fury fight. Sat at the press conference with headphones on, didn't say a word. Just sat there, wouldn't say anything. Right? Separate video, he got everything bad to say about Fury. So there's a video right now entitled something about Wilder saying that Anthony Joshua turned down money or something, or turned the fight down. I didn't even watch the video. I don't need to. I'm going to tell you why I don't need to. Anything I have to say about anybody, there's not a man on this fucking planet I won't say to your fucking face what I feel. I fear no one. You had this man face to face. Now, since you opted to all of a sudden you feel different about calling him a coward, talking about how you would knock him out 2-3 rounds, he's not on your level, to smiling and wanting to shake his hand and saying you wish him nothing but the best. Nothing tough to say. And only a bunch of pawn fool jackasses would support the fact that if he jumps on a separate video and starts talking shit, oh man, this and that, no, you know, because we was over there, you know, I didn't want to, you know, set it off and be disrespectful over there in front of your excellency and all that bullshit. No, damn all that. See, that's what it comes down to. AJ's not this soft puppet that people want him to be. So when he gets upset because of something someone says, like even Otto Wallin, right? Well, let me say this before I get to Otto Wallin. You see how, remember, when Wilder walked over there and, you know, Fury yelled out Bomb Squad, and he goes over there and hugged Fury and smiled at Fury, right? He's the one initiated the same way. And what did he do? Went right on a separate video and started calling Fury a cheater again and all. Nothing in front of him. Nothing. So, separate video. Handle it the same way Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence wound up handling their situation. Which was when, why did the fight take so long? Or how come this? And what did they say? Listen, don't worry about all that. The fight's here now. That's all we focused on. I don't care nothing about what happened in the past. It's here now. Wilder needs to be on that card. Look, I have Joseph Parker in front of me. Hopefully, or after I beat Joseph Parker, or however you want to word it, and hopefully AJ win his fight against Wallin, and then we next. When that time comes, point is right now, let's make it happen. We too damn old to be sitting up here, two fucking grown-ass men to be sitting up here worried about the past and how come the fight didn't happen. No, scratch all that. We're not with the drama. One fight at a time. Simple. For him to have a separate video, and bottom line, like I said, I don't know what he said in that video. And I don't have a reason to watch the video. I don't really care. Because like I said, you had every chance to say what you want, what you claim you wanted to say in front of him, because you have a lot to say when you're not in front of him. Jarrell Miller's just a clown, honestly. I can't even take him serious. But the reality, you know what it's like? It's like somebody come in the room. Is Aries here? Nah. You sure he's here? You positive he's not here? He's not even in the country. A word? Yeah. Say swear to God on your mother. Swear to God on my mother. He's not even in the country. Oh, man, that Aries, that nigga, man. Yeah. That's what that is. I'm going to talk trash in front of a camera when he's not there, but face to face, I'm going to smile at him, try to act all gentleman and friendly, like extend my hand and wish him nothing but the best. Keep the same energy when you do a separate video and you're asked about him. And only, not because it's AJ, I don't give a shit about it because it's AJ, it's the fact that you had every opportunity to talk your shit right then and there. But the stupid thing about that is what I said. So even with the time and place for everything shit, no. Well, why is the time and place always right when you're not face to face with a guy? And that's my point on that. And face to face is different. So that being said, what I just found really stupid about the whole press conference is when they're asking about other guys. Man, Wilder has Joseph Parker in his sights. That's the fight y'all should be building. Y'all don't even, that's, Joseph Parker, former champion on top of that. This is what I mean about how boxing, that press conference, it wasn't dead because nobody's talking trash. The energy in the room, I don't care about look, the simple fact is this. When you are building a fight, if I know I'm fighting Joseph Parker, don't tell me nothing about Anthony Joshua. I just said, listen, who am I fighting December 23rd? Okay, keep all your questions about that fighter. I get past him, he gets past him, and we meet up at the end, then we can talk. And you can ask all the questions you want about that person. That makes sense. I don't want the drama. I don't care about all the he said, she said. The point is, when the fight's on, the fight's on. That's some grown-up shit. Not this whole, I know you're fighting Joseph Parker, but everybody wants to see and wants to know. And here y'all go, man. That's not going to make people want to see this. In fact, if you look at most videos, people are complaining about the card. And a lot of people just complain because that's just who they are. They have nothing better to do. Okay, but this is a situation where instead of you giving Joseph Parker the respect of, hey, man, this is two former champions. Ain't it funny? Deontay Wilder, former world champion. Well, so is Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker himself said he felt like he slipped a little bit, went down a little bit, but now, he got his spark back. Okay, whatever. Win, lose, or draw. The point is, this is the fight that's happening. This is the type of people Deontay should be in there fighting. We don't want to see, the Arthur Spilkers and all these other, no, that's the type of, former world champions. Andy Ruiz. That's the type of fights that he should be in. Now, for everybody that's saying, yeah, but it should be Deontay versus AJ. See, well, what's funny is Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren said the same thing, that this card was put together in a matter of days. See, that shows you, it's my point, what I've been telling you guys. All parties have to just be on the same page. All this greed bullshit. Imagine if they was actually making mandatories fight mandatories. If they was having mandatory round robin tournaments. You had to be in it, and if you was a champ and you didn't want to defend your titles, you'd be stripped. And the contenders, you had to fight. Bottom line, you have the top 10, make them fight. This is how you keep a top 10 fresh. Why? Because if number 1 beats number 2, he drops. Number 3 beats number 4, 4 drops. For each one. So the winners of each of these fights, they get elevated up. And they're eliminating each other off. But no, the problem is what? Everybody want to be the A side. Everybody want the lion's share of the money. Everybody want to make an excuse to not fight somebody. And then certain people, so now what's getting mixed up is the guys that really want to fight versus the guys who, they know that the fight's a big risk. So they want to try to make as much money as they possibly can. So that way they do lose. Well, I got a nice chunk of change. So when the fighters have too much freedom to pick and choose, that's when it becomes an issue. And it's been an issue for a long time. So if you can put this, and to be exact, Eddie Hearn said in about a matter of 10 days, and him and Warren said the same thing. So, yeah, you mean to tell me you can put a card like this together in 10 days, but on a regular basis, nah. Let's give them one big name fight, a halfway decent fight, and the rest a bunch of, whatever. No, this is how you try to ensure that fighters get seen. And when you put a stacked card together, you hope that, like for example, Frank Sanchez fought in that empty-ass building the last time. Nobody was really even in the damn building. The camera crew, his cornerman, his opponent's cornerman. It was like nobody there. So hopefully now when he get in the ring and fight this time, that it's not the same situation, that people are in the building watching and they're interested in this fight and then, have vested interest in the fight. So, all of this nonsense that people talk doesn't mean anything. It's like I always tell you guys, the opponents talk shit, but more so they don't really see the opponent the way the fanboys do. They see the danger. They see the risk. They see that. Whereas with your, shit at cheerleading with your little pom-pom for your favorite fighters. I really just don't like that kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't interest me. Like, you have two former champions in Wilder and Joseph Parker. And instead of people, okay, that's the fight that's next. Okay, if you're scared AJ might lose, or Wilder might lose, or either one of them or both of them might lose, then all of a sudden the so-called super fight's never going to happen. Well, this fight was never official at any point in time. It's been years now. People got sick and they're tired of even believing that this fight's going to happen. So what happens is this. Until Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are across from each other at a press conference and it's official that they are headlining or they're fighting each other, then I think people just more like, all right, it's whatever. Because there's been too much talk and then nothing happening. And let me explain this to you guys. For Deontay Wilder to finally say now, all of a sudden, his whole career, you never heard him mentioning he don't care about Undisputed. Now, he wait to this point in his career that Undisputed means everything to him. Well, he's not going to get it at 38 years old. He's not going to go try to get every title one at a time if that would be the case. And remember, all his career that he had that WBC belt, what was he saying? Everybody know the only belt that matters is the green belt. That was his words. So I don't care about talk. So basically, the way it is now, well, you don't have to get every belt one at a time. You just have to beat the one guy that's holding the belt. Now, after the last Fury fight, I'm pretty sure in his mind, maybe, I can't say I'm pretty sure, but maybe in his mind, he's feeling like, I think I could get Fury now. Who knows? Who knows? I tell you what, if Fury come in there like he did against Ngannou, yeah, he should. But the thing about Wilder is just Wilder. And, you know what I mean? But, at the end of the day, he's fighting Joseph Parker. And so that's the fight. That's what it is. Anthony Joshua is fighting Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin made himself look weak. For the simple fact, you have an opponent in front of you. All everybody keeps talking about. Well, AJ never been the same since he lost to Andy Ruiz. Yeah. He also avenged the loss, which people fail to mention. But for him to lose to Usyk, for him, 2 times, okay, understand something. In his rebuilding stage or his resetting stage or whatever, let me tell y'all something, right? Regardless to what you think about him, for a fighter to say he doesn't look the same or, oh, he's mentally weak, okay, that's where your confidence comes from. Again, these motherfuckers are taking pride. They don't even care. Like, what? That's like, look, if I was about to fight a guy and I heard that he fractured his hand or he broke his arm and he need the money so bad that he wants to fight, I'm not willing to take that fight. Because this is the hurt business. And I'm there to kick your ass and win and take what's mine. What do I gain out of beating a one-armed fighter? Now, if it's a crazy amount of money on the table, people going to take it for that bag. But my point is, aside from that money grab, it's messed up that his team is going to let him go through there with a bad arm. You understand what I mean? But my point is, what do I gain? Outside of the money, what do I gain? Like this dude at one arm. And I'm not talking about you go in the fight and then you mess your arm up. No, you're in a bad financial situation. So, because I'm not going to hold back on you, I'm going to go in there and punish you, get it over with. What I look like going the distance or taking me more than one round to get rid of a one-arm fighter, right? So the point what I'm saying is, if you feel like he's mentally weak, he's not the same. You keep saying it, it's like, are you trying to psych yourself to believe that? Now, what would look really bad on Otto Wallin is even if he put up a good fight, you shouldn't get your ass kicked by a man that's mentally weak, right? So this is what I'm saying with all of this shit. It's like fighters, look, everybody talk shit. People always talk about Ali, and Muhammad Ali talked mega shit. Ali's focus was to entertain people. He wanted people to, I mean, look at how he did it. He did it with a lot of poetry, rhyming and stuff, and making people laugh. And it wasn't the same. It wasn't coming from a space of hate like these guys. Ali didn't lack confidence. Ali wasn't going in there talking about your mama and talking about all this other dumb shit. And no, he did his thing. He copied his stuff. I think, what was the wrestler's name? It was some wrestler. I forget his name. But Muhammad Ali saw how this guy had the crowd booing and how packed the building was and how they were so into this wrestling match. And I forget the wrestler's name. But Ali decided, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. Ali went in there and fought. And he is the guy that fought and tried to get in there with the best guys. Ali wasn't ducking people. Ali wasn't in there talking shit, but then I'm not going to fight you. That's not what Ali did. And a guy like Otto Wallin, the best thing that he's done was cut Fury. Have some good rounds against a good first half of the fight against Fury. Then fade and fall apart and allow Fury with a cut bloody eye to come back. And so Otto Wallin is talking shit, but Otto Wallin, he's another guy who people respect that. And what is his most recognizable win? Against Dominic Brazil, who was washed up and over the hill at that point. So pretty much, right? He's another guy that has a lot to say, but he hasn't done anything, to really stand out. That what did he? I mean, accomplishment. Well, you're not a champion, right? You've never been a champion. So it's like, let me talk shit. And if you think that you're getting in AJ's head or any other fighter's head by talking, saying that they're not the same fighter, and so basically it's like, well, that's why you feel confident, huh? Because he's not the same guy he used to be. Now you get your ass whooped, you're gonna feel stupid saying, oh, well, AJ's a good fighter. No, that's not what you said before that. So AJ told him, you're gonna talk shit. Don't come and talk shit, then come try to shake my hand at the end of the fight. And you know why I respect that? Because way before AJ said that shit the other day, you've been hearing me for the longest say, when people are trying to take personal shots at you and say things, if I don't like you, motherfucker, I won't shake your hand. I don't give a fuck what the crowd says or what the commentators say. Make me shake his hand. I'm not shaking nobody's hand if I don't respect them and I feel like this person is, for you to say he's not what he used to be and all AJ's in his feelings, right? What is he supposed to then smile at him and laugh like it's funny or whatever? And you take it the way you take it. And it's like you guys are always worrying about one man's feelings. Everybody's always talking about somebody in their feelings. And it's like, yeah, your motherfuckers are little sensitive sissies. Why? Because here's a man face to face saying what he has to say. Okay? Unlike Wilder, he's not waiting till the cameras are off or till Wallin's not there. Now I'm going to go talk trash about Wallin. No. He said what he said to him. He said what he said to Jarrell Miller. Wilder had nothing to say but nice things about him. So how could you possibly sit back and applaud someone who decides, now that he's not in my face, let me go make a separate video and tell everybody how I knock him out and how it's all cap, it's bullshit. Every fight where, we look at Bivol, for example, Bivol beat Canelo. Bivol not the face of boxing because he beat Canelo. They don't call him, nobody's calling him that, right? Bivol is basically just Bivol. And his name really doesn't come up unless he has a fight, right? Well, what most people try to make you believe is, oh, he beat Canelo at 175, but he couldn't beat him at 168. Well, he wants him at 168, and I believe he beats him at 168 as well. Mauricio Sulaiman don't really want that fight. Now, if Canelo, want that fight, it doesn't have to be for undisputed. Well, at that point, it's like, well, he has other titles, three other titles that he could defend, right? So if Canelo really wanted that fight, Canelo could make it happen. Mauricio Sulaiman can't tell him he can't fight at 168. He just can tell him that the WBC belt is not on the line. And basically for Dimitri Bivol, he has the one belt that he defended against Canelo. So if that's the case, well, put one of your other belts up then. No, he don't want to do that, right? Why? It's still a fight, whether it's undisputed or not, right? So what I'm saying is, yeah, Canelo's a good fighter and all that, but let's stop playing the games. If Canelo wanted to make that fight happen because he has something to prove that you can't beat me at 168, well, he'd make that fight happen. And we're not going to play the networks don't want it. No, Mauricio couldn't control that because the WBC would have nothing to do with it. Now, if there's no title on the line, the reality is it does nothing for Bivol. Simply because Bivol fights at 175. And why should he put his career on hold trying to chase Canelo and wait to see what? No. He wants to do what he needs to do. So he has Lyndon Arthur in front of him, and that's the matter at hand. You understand what I mean? So pretty much the rest of the card, I forget the guy, the cruiserweight guy, because I don't really see him fight too much, and I don't really think about him, and again, until his name comes up in the fight. But bottom line, guys, is this. I don't really want to talk about, like I said, the whole card. I mean, we see what it is. We might dig into it more as time go on. I might talk about some of the other fights. But in this video, I just wanted to point these things out because, see, remember, several months ago when they were saying they was trying to get Fury, Wilder, and AJ all on the same card. See how quick y'all forget though? Oh man, they should be putting AJ versus Wilder. Yeah, that's what we heard for December, right? And what I tell you guys, it's not guaranteed. And especially the fact that you heard Wilder talking about like he want to fight 3 times, he want to fight 4 times, whatever. Okay, then all of a sudden his mandatory was who? Helenius, right? And you know we heard that AJ, well, Eddie Hearn was saying he wanted AJ versus Big Bang, you know, Zhilei Zhang after the, you know, Usyk fights. And so when these names come up as far as them fighting each other, I keep telling you guys, man, it's talk. Sending contracts, sending offers, that's when, okay, now we can negotiate. We have something to work with. Okay, and so yeah, when people are talking about the fights that they want to see, okay, as far as it actually happening, right while that was going on, then all of a sudden, Andy Ruiz is calling out Deontay because, look, man, you won your title eliminator. I won my title eliminator. What's up? And then the fact that Deontay even responded, it's like, okay, did he say, listen, I'm not focused on Ruiz. My focus is Joshua. Not one time have you heard him say, no, I want the AJ fight. That's it. No, he's entertaining other shit, but then it doesn't happen. Every fighter should have options in case one avenue closed. Okay, they don't want it or it's not going to happen for this reason or that reason. Let's go this direction. So every fighter should have options. So the fights are what they are. It's nothing to cry about. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, for that matter, we could sit here and say, hey, I wish it was Frank Sanchez stepping in there with you know, Jarrell Miller since he's on the card. No, they put him in there against who they put him at. Was it Junior Fa he's fighting? Is it Junior Fa? Okay. I know he's on the card. Could they put a better fighter on it? Exactly. But that's my point. Regardless, yeah. But listen, man, it is what it is. Frank Sanchez fought when? Was it the Canelo undercard? Or was it the Canelo, was it the Canelo and Charlo undercard? Whatever, you know, Joseph Parker, same thing, just fought not too long ago and right back in the ring. This is what boxing needs. These type of cards is what you should put together. These type of cards should be the only cards that's pay-per-view. You can't give people one good fight, and then especially if the fight doesn't live up to the hype. Because to be honest with you, even if you had good undercard fights, what happens in that main event is what people are going to talk about the most. And when that shit bombs, they're going to talk about it even more. Why? I wasted my money. Or the fans of the guy that won, yeah, ha, 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 ha. You know, and the guy that lost, it may be excuses or just let down. Like, damn, I thought he was at least going to put up a fight. I mean, I said even, for example, they could have put Inoue on that card against somebody. They don't have any little guys on there. The smallest guys they got on there is the light heavyweights. So they could have put Inoue on that card. And look, what they didn't do this time is always the next time, right? But somebody needs to do something with boxing means something. Stay away from this misfit shit. Stay away from this fucking crossover stupid shit with active champions and all that, and boxing needs boxing because, like I said, you got everybody thinking they can put a pair of gloves and some shorts and some damn Jordans on and jump in the ring and they think they're a boxer. And so boxing is just, it's not what it was, man. It's just a fucking circus show. This is one event. We don't know how the event's going to go. Is it going to be worth it? Is the fight's going to live up? You know, and basically one of the biggest anticipations for this whole situation is that AJ win his fight and Wilder win his fight, so those two can finally fight. You know, but overall, a lot of people just like, man, whatever. And like I said, that's the fight until they have a press conference for that fight. No, I don't see the need to ask AJ about Wilder, to ask Wilder about AJ. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell Miller is irrelevant. And that's why he's running his mouth. Because, yeah, it's not what I do in the ring that impress people, so I got to do all of this. So even if they want to see me lose, hey, fuck it. I'm here. And I'm on a card that I didn't earn my way, but I'm here. They selected me. I didn't earn my way to be here. By doing what? By doing what? You know, Urkovich is on this card. So, yeah, I mean, and this is the type of card. This is what Fury should have been on. Not that bullshit circus crap that he was on last, that he just did, that flopped and failed. This is what you needed to be on. Not sitting here getting dropped by a fucking novice on that bullshit card and making excuses. Making the fucking, you know, I mean, come on. Come on, man. Oh, but, you know, Fury, whatever. We know. Now, all of a sudden, Ngannou, you know, did a little short video talking about he's the baddest boxer on the planet right now, how he got robbed, but he's waiting for the rematch, and he's going to ride this thing and try to see what big fight he can get. I told you, he's not going to jump in there with somebody dangerous in MMA because he knows if he does and he loses, then that he loses some steam. It's like, okay, he got his ass kicked. So in regards to what happened with Fury, he just got his ass kicked. If he hops in a boxing ring, which I doubt, but if he does, they're not going to give him somebody solid. And that's why, I mean, now, if Ngannou, for example, if Ngannou was to fight a guy like Manuel Charr, right? Manuel Charr holds some bullshit belt. I don't know, I don't care, it don't mean nothing, because whatever he hold, he doesn't need to be undisputed, so it means nothing. He's holding some Louis Vuitton belt. For Ngannou to go from Fury to Charr, people that remember Fury calling Charr's name out, okay, let's see what he does to this guy Charr. He probably knocked Charr out. You know, Charr has an aggressive, wild style coming forward, just throwing wild ass punches. He leaves himself wide open. He's a horrible fighter for real. But at the end of the day, so whatever little bubblegum Louis Vuitton belt he has, you know, Jarrell Miller, he pretty much, I mean, had the nerve to say out loud he wants to fight Manuel Charr because he has a belt. Well, if Ngannou was to fight him and destroy him, then it would look like, oh shit, okay, they wouldn't even care that it's Manuel Charr. Just the fact it's a boxer and that, hey, he fought Klitschko at one point. Oh shit, okay. Because people don't care about Manuel Charr. He's trash. Simple. That's the type of shit that I could see Ngannou and his people trying to push him in that direction. Now, only in his second fight, he's holding the bubblegum belt. But guess what? He's an MMA guy that has a belt that nobody cares about, but he has it. And he beat a boxer to do it. Now, the fact that Manuel Charr is not a good fighter, again, nobody would really care because it's Francis Ngannou. And that's the focus. A guy like Jarrell Miller, who's been in this game, calling out a guy like Manuel Charr. Yet, somehow you think getting some Louis Vuitton belt or some fucking, you know, beating a Lucas Brown, or that's supposed to elevate you to put you up. And no. Even if he beats Daniel Dubois, you gotta understand. Look, remember before the Usyk fight, Daniel Dubois, I forget the guy that he fought. He had him buzzed in the first or the second round? First round, right? Had him buzzed, dropped him 3 times. Okay, so this is my point. Daniel Dubois went in there against Usyk, and his power, his size, his aggression, the way he claimed he was going to fight. When he got in there with Usyk, he realized like it's not as easy as I thought. Okay, but for a guy like Jarrell Miller, well, those weaknesses that you see in Dubois, if Dubois could go to 10 rounds, if he had stamina, I would pick Dubois to win. If he had stamina, he might still win. Who knows? If his team doesn't understand, like, man, you have to be able to go the distance. You have to. Just because somebody has a high work rate, that doesn't mean that they automatically win. We seen Paul Williams fight that way. We seen what's the guy that cheated, putting plaster in his gloves. We've seen guys fight, and they fought Margarito, and they fought each other. Okay, they're not devastating punches, neither one of them. It's just volume, 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 volume. And at the end of the fight, they were exhausted, but they had enough stamina that they could just do that all night. We seen Sergio Martinez break Paul Williams down in that rematch. And he realized, I don't have to try to outwork him. I don't have to try to keep up with him. I just have to be accurate, control the distance. You understand what I mean? And basically catch him with pinpoint shots. Make him miss all that shit that he's doing. Now, Jarrell Miller, being at their heavyweights, he's real heavy, over 300 pounds. And so he pretty much, tries to use that shot. He's slow. He walks in the shots. And that's why he pointed out he has a good chin, because he gets hit a lot. So, that's up to Dubois and his team to figure out how to put this together so they can win the fight. But, I mean, I just wanted to speak on those things, man. Like, for the people, this was a great press conference. It was just a press conference. Jarrell Miller wasn't entertaining. Wilder went in there and basically had nothing tough to say about anybody. And he need to keep that same energy. Let his fist do the talking when he gets in the ring. So all that, my power is a blessing and a curse. Okay, well, yeah. Just back it up against Joseph Parker. AJ handles business with Wallin, and then y'all make it happen, then so be it. But, AJ, never known to be a shit talker. So even like when he was telling, Eddie Hearn, telling the guy, like, why are you asking me questions? My manager, like, telling Eddie Hearn, like, isn't that how it always go? Eddie Hearn is the one who really direct the questions and ask things and talk. That's just the way it goes. And also, AJ is not stupid. His opponent is Wallin. It's not Deontay. It's not Parker. It's not Fury. It's not Usyk. It's not Jarrell Miller. It's Wallin. Why waste time and energy talking shit to other fighters on that panel that you're not fighting? And again, like I said, for Wallin, he stands up and he sits there and talks, and it's like, it's the same thing when guys, something, at least Miguel Cotto and Freddie Roach, I remember when they fought Sergio Martinez, at least, I remember hearing them say, Martinez hasn't looked the same in his last 3 fights. He hasn't looked good. I think we got him right where we need him, where we want him, and I think now's the time to fight him, right? That's pretty much what Wallin is saying. But the point, what I'm saying is, everybody could see that Martinez wasn't the same fighter. Everybody could see that. And so, yeah, he went in there and pretty much Cotto did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do. So that's my point, is when he won, okay, he had the belt. It was an accomplishment. But when you bring up Miguel Cotto fights, that's the one fight they really hardly ever mention. And Miguel Cotto was a good fighter. He was a solid fighter. But, yeah, they admitted that, yeah, the guy don't look good. Wallin is saying, oh, there's no belt on the line here. So my point is, if you're that's where his confidence comes from. That he's saying that, oh, so I think I can beat AJ now because he doesn't look the same. That's all he's saying. So if you beat a fighter and you're sitting, this is what I'm saying to you. When you hold a title, okay, a major title, you get beat, right? The person that beat you is not a champion. So now that you beat Martinez, now let's see how many title defenses you have. What do you do with the title? There's no title on the line. Okay, so that's my point. So if Wallin was to win, let's just say if he won, and let's say if Wilder won against Parker, do you really care to see Wallin versus Deontay? I mean, that's how it should be, right? But do you care? Let's say if Joseph Parker beat Wilder, right? And let's say Wallin, beats AJ. Do you care to see Wallin versus Joseph Parker? But that's how it should be. If that was okay, yeah, that was the setup. If AJ won, and it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Why? Because it's about who put asses in seats, who do the fighters, who do people really want to see. If it's about fairness, then yeah, that's what would happen. Now, let's say AJ won, but Wilder lost. Well, this would be a rematch between Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. But it doesn't work the other way. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, if Anthony Joshua lost, nobody really cares about Wallin versus Wilder. You understand what I mean? If Anthony Joshua won and Wilder lost, well, like I said, now you have a rematch. Because nobody really cares, though, about Joseph Parker versus Wallin either. That doesn't mean the fight shouldn't happen if we're looking at fairness. But as far as the public interest, and if the public don't want to see it, well, then you need to put something else on that card. But now the problem is you got a main event and a co-main event where the winners ended up being somewhere mid-card. You understand what I mean? Or if this is the co-main event, the main event got to be something really solid. And it got to be somebody with star power. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at how these fights are put together and like who's doing, like what's the intentions? If he beats him, then he automatically gets him. No, and boxing is like you're told you're the mandatory, but then you got to fight 3, 4, 5 more times before you finally get a shot. You know what I mean? So when you say if Otto Wallin keeps winning, or if Filip Hrgović keeps winning, he's going to get his shot. What about Frank Sanchez? What about Jared Anderson? You understand what I mean? So now why they talking more about Filip Hrgović is because why? Because he got the decision over Zhilei Zhang, and most people feel like Zhang won that fight, but he got the decision, and then Zhang goes and he destroys Joe Joyce twice. You know what I mean? So, hell, you could even had a rematch. Hrgović, just saying. You know what I mean? It's things that could have been done. I'm not complaining about the card. It is what it is. But when you look at what could have been done different, what would have made this card even better? That's all I'm saying. But as far as what we got and who said what and did what, man, I don't care about all the theatrics. I done heard a lot of big mouths run their mouth. My father used to say the loudest dude in the room is usually the softest. And damn sure if he wasn't right about that shit, man. And all that and can't fight a lick. But if you listen to them, and yeah, they're not as tough as they talk. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, we didn't see in the press conference, and in the coming weeks, just saying, y'all, if you have so much to say about somebody behind their back, and then that person is right in your presence, and all of a sudden now you don't have anything to say. That's some soft, sissy, sucker, soft punk shit. Ain't no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. And you know how Wilder loved to tuck his chest and to love and hey, listen, man. Ain't no beef between me and AJ. We just need to fight each other. Simple. I want to fight him. He want to fight me. We're going to make it happen. You said you wish him nothing but the best, whether you and him actually ever fight or not. That was his words. Even if the fight don't happen, I wish you nothing but the best, man. Smiling at him and shook the man, all that. And I'm going to keep running that shit in because I want you, all you big mouths that talk all this shit, talking about how AJ going to be shaking in his boots and scared when he see Wilder. And I'm like, yeah, why y'all ain't jumping there like, yo, Wilder, what the fuck is you doing? I thought you was going, curse at the motherfucker, talk shit, no. Yell bomb squad, no. He ain't do none of that shit. Y'all are childish. And y'all see shit that's not really there. Real shit. Men don't need to do all that. We just go handle what we gonna handle. That's all. Because all that talking don't mean anything. I'm interested to see how, out of all the fights on that card, I think Dimitri Bivol chips up Lyndon Arthur. I just think that, I know, Lyndon Arthur, he got some boxing skills, and so does Bivol, but I just think Bivol chips him up. I just think he's too good for Lyndon Arthur. We'll see, but I just think, that fight, Frank Sanchez, he is. I always, liked him as a fighter. Is he fighting Junior Fa? I believe it is. He should beat Junior Fa. Like, he really should beat Junior Fa. We'll see how it happens. And Wilder versus Parker, see how that fight goes. Now, I got nothing against none of these people. I don't know them personally. I hope, this is what I'm looking at. Whoever wins, wins. Y'all know AJ's the heavyweight that I push for. So, he should beat Wallin. He should fuck him up, to be honest with you. He should really fuck him up. Wallin is not that fast. He doesn't have devastating power. He's a decent fighter. AJ should fuck him up. Okay? He's 6'6", he's a southpaw. Okay, right, I know all of that. AJ is also 6'6". Not a southpaw, but regardless, he should beat Wallin. Okay, he definitely should beat Wallin. But we'll see how it goes. Wilder versus Parker. Now, personally, I want to see, put it like this. I ain't going to say personally because I don't take nothing personal. If they lose, I don't really care. It's just, it's like watching a movie, right? You want to see the good guys win, or you want to see something. If they lose, they just lose. And it is what it is. Every time you watch that movie, it's going to be the same result, right? Same shit. So I don't really personally care. So let me rephrase that. Let me say it like this. I'm pushing for AJ to win his fight. I'm pushing for Wilder to win his fight. Because unlike you scary chickens that is sitting there, I hope AJ lose so he don't have to fight Wilder because they scared that Wilder's going to lose. And that's all that shit is. They want to go to their grave being able to say the fight never happened, but I know Wilder would have won. That because they're afraid that if they actually fight, AJ might wind up, I know the fear is there. That's why people just make up stupid shit. And I'm just reading these dumbass comments like, wow. And I had it up on the big screen, like, people just say the stupidest shit. He's scared, but he's sitting there staring right at him. He won't look at Wilder, but he's staring right at him. He don't want none of Wilder. Yo, Wilder's focused, Wilder. And I'm just like, yo, what press conference are y'all watching? And I see Wilder smiling, extending his hand to him, and AJ just kind of hesitated, looked, and he shook his hand. But it's like, okay. And, y'all want to see a fighter in fear. Y'all want to see a fighter not where they should be. I'm built different. Because if Wilder loses, even if AJ wins, if Wilder loses, why would you care to see AJ versus Wilder? You know what I mean? Like, right? So, yeah. And here's the thing. If Parker wins, it's not going to make me upset. You know what I mean? And if that was to happen, then at some point, yeah, you have AJ Parker too. But I want Wilder to win so him and AJ can finally fight. I don't want AJ to win his fight so they can finally fight. It's as simple as that. Now, do I personally care who wins? Like, oh man, it's fucked up. Damn, nope. So, yeah, y'all, people making videos, who won the press conference and all this goofy shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that, man. That, I've never in my life looked on somebody's record, and seen PC as a category, press conference. with a fucking not seen it on there and never seen a record. Oh, this motherfucker 30 in the press conference. Who cares about all that bullshit? I know they feed into the hype. They feed into the bullshit to try to entertain the people on their channel because y'all get into that goofy shit. Some of them, I don't care about none of that shit. What matters is, imagine that undisputed conference, press conference with y'all champion or some dumb shit like that. I shouldn't even say that out loud because they might just start handing out belts and then motherfucking they're paying a sanction fee for a press conference championship. It's crazy, but yeah. It was just a press conference, that's all. And I watched it live when it happened. I sat right there and Chromecast it to my TV and watched it. And like I said, I'm sitting there looking at the comments and everything. And I'm just sitting here like, okay. So people get motivated by words. No matter how many times they watch a fight flop, no matter how many times they watch a fight not live up to the hype, they still decide that because somebody said what they're going to do, it's just going to happen. And the reason, too, that I'm emphasizing on what happened between AJ and Wilder and how Miller sat there and completely assassinated his own fight. Nobody cares. No, I guarantee you, out of all the fights on there, the fight that people care about the least, out of the people that they know a little more, out of the more known fighters, is Miller versus Dubois. He shitted on his own fucking fight. People already calling the dude a quitter. People already don't care and already don't have belief in Daniel Dubois. But this is your opponent. You agreed to be on the card. And you actually was going to fight old man Chisora. And now you talking about Manuel fucking Charr. And I'm pointing this out for the people who didn't see it. So if you didn't see it, yeah, go watch it. And I'm pretty sure by now they've broken them up into clips and stuff. But you go sit and watch it and you see. It's like, yeah, all that tough talk on separate videos. So like I said, keep that same energy when you do a separate video. Otherwise, you make yourself like a real ass. And that's the first question I would ask you is why, when you in front of this man, you was nice, smiling, wanted to shake his hand, said it was good to see him. It's been a long time. It's good to share the room with him, to be in this. All this nice shit you said. Now he's not in front of you. You hollering bomb squad and talk about how you would knock him out in 3-4 rounds. He's not on your level. He's easy. He's mentally weak. So where's all that? You didn't say none of that shit to his face. Now, Wallin is his opponent. So whatever he's saying and trying to get in his head, that's just what he's going to do. With AJ, him hearing you run your mouth, him hearing Wallin saying what he's saying and, whatever, it's like, yeah, okay. He didn't go in and put his hand out to shake nobody's hand. You came and extended your hand to him. So I don't know where these little foolish minions are. I could picture, honestly, I picture like Deontay Wilder fans sitting with the one-piece pajamas on, with the hood, probably like bunny ears or something, whatever, just sitting there with, with their legs crossed Indian style on their computers with a big damn stupid smile on their face, just typing tough shit in. Like, motherfucker, you sitting here with a damn one-piece pajama suit on. You sitting up here dressed like a frog, talking about, I just don't get this shit. So it's just like, yeah, I'll block all that out. Look, let me say this about any fighter. I don't care if it's Deontay Wilder, if it's Anthony Joshua, if it's whoever the fuck. You go out there and you do what you do. What works for you and your family, that's what you do. I don't like a lot of the goofy shit that people do. Like, I don't agree with it, but it doesn't make me angry. But when you talk to people, like, goddamn, as human beings, just like, at least make sense when you talk and at least have some goddamn integrity, some dignity. Be honest, be truthful. Stand up on fucking 2 feet like a man or a woman's supposed to. You know what I mean? What the fuck do I hate Deontay Wilder for? No, I don't like all the stupid twerk videos and stuff like you're watching, Deontay Wilder hitting the bag ferociously. All of a sudden, dude hitting the bag and busts out in the middle of his workout, start twerking. I don't want to see that shit. Yeah, he says a lot of shit and then says something completely different. Had people speak on his behalf knowing what they were saying wasn't true. Shit like that. So we pointed out it's boxing news, but I'm pointing out facts. And I always will put the receipts up there and everybody, oh shit. Then they disappear, they get quiet, they don't want to say nothing because, yeah, you prove them wrong. So just saying, that kind of shit. I don't have nothing against none of these people. Fury's the biggest liar in the world. And motherfuckers say one thing and all in the same week turn around and say something completely different. But his fans sit there and nut hug him. There's no way that Usyk can get out of this. It's mandatory. It's mandated. We have to fight me on the 23rd. He has to. Otherwise, he'll get sued. Then he turns around all of a sudden. Now he wants to bring his baby up. He wants to spend time with his baby. Oh, I haven't seen my baby. You wasn't saying none of that shit. Now all of a sudden, the week before you went in there and got in there with Ngannou, that you thought you was going to have a fucking cakewalk through, and you got dropped, got embarrassed, and let boxing down, let yourself down. You turn around after saying all this shit about how Usyk has to fight you, there's no way out of it. You're the one that pulled out the fight. The same way you blame Usyk before, the same way you blame Anthony Joshua before. And Mauricio Sulaiman gonna sit there with his fucking Yogi Bear looking ass and not fucking say the truth. You're a victim of the times, right? Or the system. Nobody wants to fight him. No, you are the reason those fights didn't happen. Not AJ, not Usyk. You're the reason. And the same way he sat there and showed his true colors, he's gotten so complacent with lying to his fan base that he contradicts himself and don't even care. He's not even clever enough to let me cover my tracks because I said this Monday, so I can't come and say this Tuesday. Yeah, because then they're gonna know I'm a liar. He don't even care anymore. He just say whatever the fuck and y'all just eat that shit up. So that's why I point these things out and emphasize. So when people are watching something, they pay attention to those key points. Like, yeah. So like I said, and I'm going to say it again and close this video, the same energy Deontay Wilder had in that room face-to-face with AJ is the same energy he need to have on every other video afterwards. Because if you too much of a fucking coward to say what you got to say in front of somebody's face, but it's easy to say it when they're not in front of you, PUSSY, bro. That's exactly what is written all over your fucking face when you do shit like that. I mean, plain and simple. I don't care who you are. You're my blood brother. I tell you, yeah. That's some sucker shit you just did, man. How you gonna talk all this shit behind this man back on separate videos? All this shit to say you gotta go have a face-to-face with him because you know, I think I don't like him or something. I know he's scared of me. You look scared. You smiling, shaking the man hand, wishing him nothing but the best. What? And the same shit you did with Fury. And then went on separate videos, separate interviews when y'all in different fucking locations and now you got all this to say about him. Anyway, y'all didn't check it out. Y'all check it out. Tell me what y'all think. In fact, out of all the fights on the card, tell me what y'all looking forward to the most. Tell me how y'all think the fight's going to go. And basically, in the coming weeks, we're going to talk about it some more. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.